Okay, in this video I'm gonna show you how to import and organize your Adobe Illustrator file in Adobe After Effects. So let's get started. To import the file into After Effects, you can double click here inside Project Panel, or you can right click and choose Import, File, or press Ctrl I. Now select the Illustrator file and press Import button. Okay, now as you can see here, we have an Import Current section with two options, Footage and Composition. If we choose Footage option, all of our objects will be imported as a single layer, and as you know, we can't animate our layers in this situation. So let's select Composition option. Here in Footage Dimensions, we have two options, Layer Size and Document Size. If we choose Document Size option, each layer size will be identical to our artboard dimension, which is not good at all. So let's select Layer Size, that in this way each layer size will be identical to the object size. Okay, now press the OK button. Okay, as you can see, here we have a composition with the same name as our Adobe Illustrator file, and also a folder here which contains all Adobe Illustrator layers. If I open this folder, you can see all layers here. If you change a layer in Adobe Illustrator and then save that file, here Adobe After Effects will update that layer automatically. But if it doesn't update, simply select one or all layers using the Shift key, right click and choose Reload Footage. Now all layers will be updated to the last saved version of Adobe Illustrator file. I recommend you not to use and change this original composition in Adobe After Effects for creating your motion graphics. Instead, duplicate it and add your keyframes, effects, and cameras to the new version. So now let's create a duplicate from this original composition. Select the composition and from the menu choose Edit, Duplicate, or press Ctrl D. Now select this new composition, hit Return key and rename it to, for example, 01-Animate. Now create a new folder and rename it to Source Files, and drag this original composition and its folder inside the Source Files folder. Okay, now open Animate Composition. Here in Timeline, we can see all of our Adobe Illustrator layers. Make sure your layer display type is in Layer Name mode and not on Source Name mode, because if you set to Source Name, here we will see Layer Name / File Name, which makes our timeline a little bit cluttered. So I suggest you to click on this narrow area and set it to Layer Name. Okay, if you can see these buttons and tools here, simply click on this small Expand or Collapse button. Now select one of these layers, press Ctrl A, and then activate this rasterize button for all of them. This makes our layers a little bit sharper in composition window. This sharpening effect will be obvious, especially when you scale up your layers too much. Okay, we have to change the body gradient layer mode again in Adobe After Effects, because After Effects can't understand the mode applied to a layer in Adobe Illustrator. So we see this layer with a gray gradient color. Now select the body gradient layer and then click on this Toggle Switch Modes button. Or you can click on this small button down here as well. And then in Mode column for this layer, select Hard Light Mode. Okay, now here we have the same result with Adobe Illustrator file. Now let's change the opacity for this sharp highlight layer. So select it and then press the T key to load the opacity property. Or click on this small arrow, open Transform, and here change the opacity. Let's set it to, for example, 75%. And here you can see the result. Okay, to find these layers easily in Timeline, let me change the color for them. So let's change the sky layer to blue. And let's change the circle's layer color to blue and lock it as well. Change the color for these three cloud layers to yellow. And let's change the color for these three top cloud layers to orange. Okay, now I want to be able to move all the rocket layers at once. As you can see now, if I move the body layer, all other layers will stay at their position and they don't follow the body layer. To solve this problem, I can parent all the rocket layers to the body layer. So let's press Ctrl Z. Now select all the rocket layers using the Shift key. Now hold the Ctrl key and click on the body layer to deselect it. Okay, now right click on this narrow area and choose Columns, Parent and Link. Now click on one of these pickwhip icons and drag it over the body layer. Or from this drop down box, choose the body layer as the parent for all of these selected layers. Let's change the body layer color to, for example, green to find it quickly. Now if I move the body layer, as you can see, all other layers will be moved as well. Okay. While this body layer is still selected, press the S key to load the scale property, or you can open the transform. And here you can change the scale value to, for example, 60%. Okay, awesome. I want to bring the rocket up from the behind of this white cloud, so this white cloud layer should be on top of all rocket layers. So let's move this cloud 1 layer to the top over all rocket layers. Okay, as you can see now, our rocket is behind the white cloud. Okay, it seems this skull layer is not in a proper position, so to fit it to the composition, you can change the position or change the scale of this layer, or you can select it and from the menu choose Layer, Transform, Fit to Comp. Now it covers the entire composition window. And finally, let's lock this layer again. Okay, great. Now we are ready to start the animating process. I love this section, so I highly recommend you to watch the next videos. Thanks for watching and see you soon.